And then the video that I'm going to show you is much better than me talking to you, right? And talking at you. You'll actually get to see what you'll be doing. Something I wanted to point out is on this brochure that I have, I sent this out to everybody in the email. So you have this document to look over again, and it actually goes over your day by day, and it actually gives you where to look in the Bible to learn about these historical sites that Jesus visited, which is really awesome. So you can actually get a deeper understanding of what you'll see and how it translates to what Jesus experienced when he was alive. So I'll get started by showing my first video, and it's a cool overview of pretty much this whole itinerary and what you'll be doing. So let me go ahead and get this up. And if you, hopefully you'll all be able to hear the audio. I think it should work okay. Can you hear that okay? Yeah, okay. I heard you mouth yes.
The Holy Land Classic 10-day tour allows you to experience all of the best sites in the Holy Land. This biblical journey will take you throughout Israel to visit the sites of some of your favorite Bible stories. Journey to the Sea of Galilee, the area where Jesus spent most of his life and ministry. Then travel to Capernaum, where you will be able to view Peter's mother-in-law's house and the synagogue built on the site where Jesus taught. Explore the Church of the Fish and the Loaves at Takva, the traditional site of the feeding of the 5,000. Then at the Mount of Beatitudes, gaze over the Sea of Galilee and imagine Jesus preaching the Sermon on the Mount there. Discover Magdala, home to Mary Magdalene, and visit the recently discovered 1st century synagogue where Jesus most likely taught. Recall Jesus' baptism in the Jordan River as you get baptized in the same waters he did over 2,000 years ago. Travel to Jesus' childhood home in the town of Nazareth, and climb to the top of Megiddo, where you'll have an amazing view of the Valley of Armageddon. At Caesarea Maritima, visit the Roman theater, aqueduct, and the ruins where Paul was imprisoned. Journey to Jericho, the oldest city in the world, and view the ruins where Joshua and the Israelites marched around the city and witnessed the walls crumble as God had promised. View the place where Jesus was tempted and see the ancient ruins of Qumran, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were recovered.
My experience for this Holy Land trip has been life-changing. It has totally changed my life and how I come to understand the Bible more. And it's just been an overwhelming experience that words simply can't describe. And I feel so honored and blessed that I had the opportunity to take this Holy Land tour.
In Bethlehem, walk in shepherds' fields where the angels proclaimed the good news of Jesus' birth. Then visit the Church of the Nativity, where you'll visit the traditional birthplace of Jesus. Next, head to the holy city of Jerusalem, where you will explore the Old City, Mount of Olives, and the Dome of the Rock. You may even have the opportunity to ride a camel. Pray under the olive trees in the Garden of Gethsemane as you remember Christ's intense prayer and contemplation before his arrest. Then head to the Upper Room, the traditional site of the Last Supper and the receiving of the Holy Spirit. Walk in the footsteps of Jesus down the busy market streets of the Via Dolorosa, where Jesus Christ suffered carrying the cross. The Via Dolorosa will lead you to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the traditional site of Jesus' death and burial. Pray at the Western Wall with the local Jews and Christians, where you will also have the opportunity to place a written prayer between the ancient stones. Sit on the southern steps, where Jesus taught the gospel, and see the pools of Bethesda where he performed a miracle. During your trip, you will have a free day with the option to experience Masada and the Dead Sea, explore Jerusalem on your own, or just relax. If you choose the Masada and Dead Sea experience, you'll ascend by cable car to Masada, Herod's legendary mountaintop fortress, which became the final tragic stronghold of the Jewish rebellion against the Romans. Then end your day floating in the Dead Sea. Spend time at the Garden Tomb where you can reflect and celebrate the resurrection with communion and worship.
I would recommend this tour being as safe as could be with the leaders that we had. The way that it was organized, it was phenomenal. Couldn't expect anything greater. I just can't give it enough praise and thank you.
But your journey doesn't have to end there. Extend your journey with a post tour to Judea and Samaria, Cairo and the route of the Exodus, wonders of Petra and the Dead Sea, hiking in the Holy Land, a Jerusalem extended stay, or a Nile cruise. This all-inclusive tour covers international airfare from New York, breakfast and dinner daily, deluxe motor coaches, entrance and program fees, fuel surcharges and government taxes, first-class hotel accommodations, gratuities, tour guides, and more. This beautiful land will not only provide the journey of a lifetime, it will make reading the Bible go from black and white to bursting with color and life like never before. Now's your chance to experience this life-changing journey to the Holy Land. Call your local travel agent today.
All right. So that is what you will be experiencing when you go on the Holy Land tour. Let me pull this down and pull up my PowerPoint here. So, all right. So as you saw in the presentation, it actually does include quite a bit for what you'll be receiving, including your flight. And this is your basic economy flight that would be included with the package. And so I do have people ask sometimes, I do have people ask sometimes, like, can I upgrade? You can. That is at an additional cost that we would have to discuss directly with the tour operator, because what they do is they are able to include our flights so far in advance because they have partnerships with the airlines, if that makes sense. And so what's contracted with the airlines is that basic flight, and then we would have to look on a case-by-case basis for anything outside of that. And so what's allowed is a carry-on bag and a checked bag. And then what you'll do is they'll give you your flight information 60 to 30 days prior. So before leaving, you'll actually know which airline you're with and what time your flight departs. What's really also nice is that as traveling with a group, you all should be on the same flight together, which is also another added benefit. I have some folks, I know everybody's all over the place, so a lot of times they fly out of JFK, and I know we have people in Denver, some folks might be in, California or wherever you may be. They do also offer options to book the connecting flights to JFK through them, or you could do that on your own. So that's something else we can talk about. I did ask, and those rates aren't out yet just because those aren't group contracted like these flights are for these tour dates. And so as soon as those are available, we can get those booked and look at doing it with the company or without the company. So there's options there. Now the hotels, what's really awesome about these hotels is that they are 4 or 5-star accommodations, and the tour company that would host you guys or is hosting you guys, they actually have part ownership in these hotels. And what that means is they can actually guarantee the quality of where you will be staying. So if they say this is a 4 or 5-star accommodation, they mean it's truly a 4 or 5-star accommodation. So you would be staying at 2 hotels. They're fully air conditioned. They have your basic amenities, your hair dryer, your telephone, TV, mini bar, coffee, personal safes, electronic locks on the doors. So they are updated hotels. And then what's awesome is with this trip, it also includes your breakfast and your dinners. So the only meals that you would have to consider is lunch, and that's because you'll be out and about. And that's also a nice chance for you to kind of pick and choose what you want to eat during lunch as well. Let's see. So the meals that are included, these are just kind of photos of what the meals are. They look delicious. I've seen tons of photos and I'm like, oh my gosh. I want that right now. I've read plenty of reviews, seen testimonials, and everybody raves about the meal. So you'll be covered there. In regards to money, they do say bring about $250 to $500 in spending money. They include that lunch. Now, gratuities, basic gratuities are included. However, they do ask that if your driver or your tour guide does an exceptional job, to maybe go above and beyond and tip them a little bit more. That's completely optional, and that's something that's mentioned in the sheet that I had sent over about frequently asked questions. And so you can read more on that or ask me individually, and I can go over that with you. And then, you know, of course, they want to make sure that you have enough for souvenirs and whatnot. The US dollar is definitely accepted. When traveling abroad, it definitely is recommended to bring, you know, smaller bills, because larger bills can be hard for vendors to break, and they don't necessarily want to carry large bills on them either. And then also Visa and MasterCard are widely accepted. The weather is going to be in the mid 80s to low 90s, and you are going in June, so keep that in mind. It is going to be warmer. In the evenings, though, it can get cool, and so definitely think about just bringing a cardigan, something like that, where you could keep your shoulders warm, your arms warm. Something else that I want to mention, which is on the clothing part of things, is that you want to be comfortable, right? But you will be visiting religious sites. And so because of that, and I know this from personal experience, you want to make sure that whatever you're wearing covers your knees and above, and that your arms can be covered. And this is for both men and women. So what I suggest is, if you know that you want to wear shorts or something like that, maybe getting like the cargo shorts, something that's a little longer, or even taking like leggings with you that you could easily slip on and put the shorts back over while you're walking through the religious sites, and then taking, like I said, that cardigan or whatnot with you, so you could cover up your shoulders and be respectful in that sense of the holy sites. Other than that, it's your basics. You know, you're going to dress like you're dressing for summer. So yeah. Your travel documents, you will definitely need a passport. You're traveling out of country. Something that's really important for Israel, they want to make sure that your passport doesn't expire until 6 months after. Every country is a little different. They want to make sure that you have at least 6 months after your return date on that passport. And your visas are included. The tour company takes care of that for you, so you don't have to worry about that part. And then just your final overall documentation is very professional the way it arrives. And you'll actually get that in the mail directly from the tour company. And so it'll have everything like your name tag, your luggage tag, a study guide, which I think is pretty awesome, your itinerary, your flight information, medical forms, and then just that sheet of things you need to know before you go will be listed again. And so that's pretty much it. That's, you know, you're just going to have an amazing time. You're going to walk where Jesus walked, and it's really going to bring the Bible to life. And you'll just come back with a greater understanding of the Lord and the Word. So I'm very excited for you all. Something else on this sheet, too, is you may have heard in the video, they have an optional excursion. They have several. They just threw on here the Nile Cruise is one. This would be an addition if it's something you want to do. Completely up to you, but that's information's there. Now, so how much does it cost? Let me see if I could zoom this in. Okay. So the cost is starting at $3,698. And the reason it says starting at is because if you want to add on, like I said, that connection flight to JFK, that would be additional. Or for instance, let's say that you're traveling, because a lot of this trip is based off of 2 people per room. And so if there's something where you don't want a roommate, or you're going to sleep as an individual, they have what's called a single supplement.